Mornings with Riddle.
Kristen, I think you and I agree that one of our favorite things about the community is how involved our residents can be here.
Absolutely, and there's so many ways to get involved. There's committees, there's resident council, and speaking of resident council, I had an opportunity to sit down with Bob Kenworthy, who is currently our president of resident council here at Riddle Village, and he was able to give us a little more insight into what exactly the council does, how it works, and even some of his own goals.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Well, let's take a look.
Sounds good.
Today I am joined with Bob Kenworthy, who is the president of our resident council here at Riddle Village. How are you doing today, Bob?
I'm well, thank you, Kristen.
Good. So we're so excited to talk to you today because a lot of, especially new residents coming in, they always want to know, what exactly is resident council? How does it benefit me? So if you met a new resident in the hall today, how would you answer that?
I'd answer it sort of this way. I'd start by saying what the Residents Association is, because every new resident in independent living, as you know, is a member of the Riddle Village Resident Association.
Right.
Which all the residents are those. Now, that's a cumbersome way to get anything done. So what we do as part of the Residents Association is elect officers, a president, a vice president, a secretary, a treasurer. You know, that's who we are as the officers. And we're the officers of the association, but also of something called the Resident Council. And the Resident Council is kind of the working arm of the Residents Association, where each floor in each building elects a single representative and an alternate to replace that representative if the representative can't be there for a meeting.
Okay.
And those 20 representatives, called floor representatives, form the Resident Council. And they are the voting members, if you please, for all the business that's done by the Residents Association or the Residents Council. The business being keeping track of the activities, the standing committees, the emporium, the money that comes in and goes out, all the treasurer takes care of all that.
Right.
It's basically the day-to-day operation of the Residents Association.
It's so interesting too because I know a lot of people coming in, they want to be involved and they're not quite sure how to be, and maybe initially they don't jump right into council. But if somebody wanted access, you know, they're trying to catch up on what's been going on with Riddle Village, and especially at those council meetings, how do they access that information? Is there minutes that are located somewhere that they could find?
There are more minutes than you'd ever want to try to read. The minutes of every meeting, I think going back at least 15 years, if not more,
wow,
are in 3-ring binders in the library.
Well, that could be an interesting read for some people.
It could be, could be, or it could be a really boring read.
So tell me a little bit about why you wanted to become involved in council.
Well, I think everyone has a responsibility to contribute, in my view. Okay, and particularly newer, younger residents have the energy, have the the skills from the outside that they brought in with them when they moved here to Riddle Village, and for me personally, it's more a call to serve than it is anything else. You know, I've run bigger organizations. I've got some skills in management and operations, and so why not contribute those to the life of Riddle Village? Why not contribute those to making this community a warm and welcoming place for everyone?
And I think that's one of the things that makes Riddle Village so special, is that there are so many opportunities for our residents to contribute. And maybe not everybody would want to contribute in the way such as you are as president of council, but it definitely trickles down. So, you know, maybe somebody has a love for the library and wants to become involved in the committee that way. It's just nice that there are different areas that people can jump into and really bring their past expertise in, and we all benefit from it.
Exactly, and I think there's just so many ways. You don't even have to be on a standing committee or be appointed to anything. You can get involved and contribute in an area of your interest, whatever that might be.
Sure, and I mean, I always tell people coming in, we are so fortunate that we have so many people with different backgrounds. It's not like we have just one set of just doctors or lawyers or even teachers. It's such a mix, and that's what makes Riddle Village so interesting. But it also allows us to have different points of views for our different committees and makes Riddle Village what it is today.
Sure, I think different points of views, diversity is always a strength, and that's the nice part about having opportunities.
So a big thing as taking on president of resident council is I imagine that you have some goals. So what do you wish to accomplish in your time as president here?
Well, accomplishment is a funny word at this stage of life, but the Residents Association, the Residents Council is a vehicle for communications. And the communications are what makes this place a warmer and friendlier place to live. So my goals would be to try to make whatever advances are important for the incoming residents, the residents I don't even know yet. You know, you have 50-some new residents just this past year, right? And you know, they've come in with a set of perspectives that are quite different from the residents who have been here for 10 or 15 years.
Sure.
So my goals would be to constantly make Riddle Village Residents Association something that meets the needs of younger, newer people coming in, rather than doing the same thing the same way we've always done it over and over again. For example, the resident portal. It's a great advance, okay?
Yes.
So the resident portal is a wonderful thing for people who are computer literate. It maybe isn't so great for people who don't like computers,
Right,
and
which
actually,
there are some.
or actually fear computers. But for the most part, I think our new residents really are computer literate. They want to be able to use, they're used to doing things on their computer. They come here and say, "What? You mean you put paper under my door?" You know, what are you doing here with paper under my door? Just put it on the portal. I can get it off the portal. Okay.
Right.
So enhancing that, you know, helping fill out the content on the portal, I think would be one of my goals.
Okay. So well, you definitely have some big goals ahead of you.
Indeed.
But you know, the nice thing about Riddle Village is I like to say we definitely have an open door policy. So I think you'll be very comfortable looking into how we can achieve those goals.
Well, thank you very much, Kristen.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. And if you are new to Riddle Village or even considering Riddle Village, I know Bob is always happy to discuss more about council. So we really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Glad to be here.
Thank you.
All right. What a great conversation with Mr. Kenworthy. He is so helpful, so involved, and it's really nice. We can talk about resident council all we want, but it's really helpful to hear it from a resident's perspective and kind of get the insights and behind the scenes, that stuff.
And I think it's so nice that all of our residents have such a great resource by being able to go to council members, floor reps to voice their comments, suggestions, concerns. There's just that open door policy that we say all the time, but it's truly a reality here at Riddle Village. And even for residents that may not want to be so involved, they have those avenues that they can take to still know that their voices are being heard, and also to just get feedback on the happenings of Riddle Village.
Right. There's really something for everyone here, as involved as you want to be. If you don't want to be involved, there's still plenty of resources, and we're looking forward to bringing you guys more information about the community.
So we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.